Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. You're watching LearnTech with Sandip Das. I think I'm doing it after a long time. Been busy with work, health, and other things. But yeah, finally I'm here. Okay, so just let's wait for around 4 or 5 minutes so that others can join. I know it takes some time to get notified and all that. So let's wait for that. And while I do so, please feel free to ask any question that you have in mind. Also, I would love to know from where you're joining, like from which city or country. Feel free to go ahead. I mean, this is an interactive session, right? I always wanted to have a interactive session with everybody else. Okay, and I'll be of course covering, like I know there are challenges related to DevOps. Like people who are in DevOps, if they want to move to MLOps, there always been some confusion. So I'll be clearing all that. And hey Piyush, and I know Piyush from a very long time. Hey Piyush, how are you? Okay. Hey Vijay Darshan. I know people on LinkedIn too should be joining. So let me check. LinkedIn I cannot see from my the streaming software, so I have to check that in my phone. Unfortunately, I think yeah, LinkedIn also people are joining. Okay, another Sandeep from Pune. Great. Okay. By the way, if you're sorry, yeah, if you're joining very first time, okay, one question, and we have some water also. Can you give me the brief on MLOps and LLMs? LLMs. Okay, I'll come to that also. Okay, I will definitely come to that. By the way, if you guys, I think most of you guys know that there is a MLOps series running. Let me quickly show you if you're very new to this. Let me show you. Allow. Yeah. So if you come to this site, it's LearnXOps.com, and I think just repeating, maybe people already know this. This is just to be sure that let me hide myself. I'm just in big screen. I don't want that. Okay. So if you come to this 60 days of DevOps, and if you come down, if you see there is a link to 30 days of MLOps. If you go there, already 16 days covered. I think next week it's going to get completed as well. Like 60 days a day was completed, and this will be completed in next week probably. So yeah, check that one. Okay, let's come back to now. Okay, can you give me also any question? Again, go ahead. I'm here to give all the answers to you guys. So any question, feel free to flow in. Okay, and I'll be answering many other questions as well while doing so. Okay, let's go with the first question. um can you give the brief of MLOps and LLOps? Okay, first let's come to the I mean I'll be answering that one, but let me answer such a way that people who don't know about MLOps, they first know about MLOps, and who don't know about LLM, let me explain about the LLM also, and this will be a great one. Okay, let me check. Okay, so first thing is, what exactly is MLOps? People get confused on that part. Like, do I need to learn about ML? Do I need to learn about how to, develop the ML models? How to set up the ML model, train the ML models, and all that? Do I need to know about AI agents? Do I need to know about like entire AI workflow automation? All the stuff. Okay. Okay. Let me is there any specific amount? No, no. 60 days of DevOps is free. 30 days of MLOps also free. Those are for community. Okay. Ah, okay. Krishna, are you still a freelance consultant? Yes. From last 15 years or so. Yeah. No, not I think 14 years. I've exactly forgot the start when I started the freelancing. It's very long now. Anyway, let's I will give answer that later on. It's not a big important things. Now let's focus to the agenda of today. First thing is that people get confused about the MLOps. Okay, I'll come to that. People like have so many questions like, should I learn MLOps? I mean, should I learn ML? Should I learn AI, agentic, like prompt engineering and whatnot? Right now, first of all, if you are a DevOps engineer, you have less difficulty becoming a MLOps engineer. Okay, because around 6 year back, I was also hearing this buzzword about becoming AI engineer or ML engineer. I tried that. That didn't work out because I didn't able to make sense of ML or this statistical, all this complexity, all this regression, all that. And there's nothing to, like, people have some capability, people have don't have some capabilities. That's fine. Like it's different from people to people. But what I able to learn quickly was like DevOps. I learned very easily, and I able to perform in many companies as freelancer, like countless companies. Okay, so like after I learn the DevOps, I learn, okay, what are the first lesson? What are the things that I learn in DevOps? Okay, I learn how to use shell scripting for automation. How I learned how to use Python, Golang for different kind of automation. I learned how to deploy application on cloud, how to automate installation, uninstallation, configuration software using, say for example, configuration management tools such as Ansible. I learned how to kind of create the cloud infra dynamically as a infrastructure as a code using Terraform. All these things that I learned along the way, it helped me to actually become an MLOps engineer. Because what do you, okay, I'll come to that. Ayush, as the question that is MLOps profession, I'll come to that. Just wait for a bit. Okay, so all these things that I learned, okay, finally managing the cloud, managing Kubernetes cluster, manage like using Docker for containerization, all those things actually learned helped me to become a MLOps engineer 2 years back. Okay, now for example, I think Piyush has a very good question that how I can transform MLOps DevOps to after 11 years MLF now. I mean, his question is about how we can become a MLOps engineer after becoming a DevOps engineer for 11 years, and that's all coming. Okay, so in MLOps, what is different? Now think about what you do in DevOps. In DevOps, you have your application source code that you have to make sure it's go through a CI/CD pipeline. This is the very basics of it. Okay, there is a CI/CD pipeline. I mean, or maybe developers making code changes, and whenever they're making code changes, that code get tested, that code getting built, that code getting deployed. I mean, even though it sounds simple, it's not actually. There are many things go behind the scene, like static code testing, deploying to where, is it EC2, is it Vercel, is it some third party, is it EKS? Like, based on your deployment target, also like how you deploy, things get changed, right? Now this all about other simple application, or say, well, not a simple app, but it's your source code, your web application, for example, those kind of application, right? Now, what is different for ML then? I mean, what you do in ML? I mean, that is one of the biggest question. Like, as a MLOps engineer, what I should be doing? Okay, and there is platform ML, like normal platform engineer, ML platform engineer. I'll be coming to that as well. Don't worry. But let's focus for now as MLOps engineer. So, if you're a DevOps engineer, you're thinking, what is the extra in MLOps? It's simple. It's about the ML model. Okay, of course there is infra and other things, but just for now focus on the ML model itself. Because when you work for normal company, normal web applications projects and all that, there you maintain the flow from source code. Maybe it's JavaScript application, maybe it's Python application, maybe it's Golang application. It could be any backend in Java also, right? Fine, any backend programming language, any front end that you deploy to your targeted environment. Similar way, for MLOps, you have a ML pipeline, okay, or say MLOps pipeline, where ultimately your source code for ML model, export. Ultimately, just okay, there is two different kind of, like, I would say primarily two kind of pipeline. One is the ML model training pipeline, and this I will come to what happened there a bit later on. And there is another is MLOps pipeline. Okay, what happened in the ML pipeline? Okay, so in the ML pipeline, it involves the source code that, of course, because not just source code, sorry, data part. Okay, in ML pipeline, it is a data, because if you see any ML pipeline, first the data comes in, then the particular ML model get trained based on the data using the algorithm that the ML engineers see fit, and then the most cases, that particular after the training, the artifact get exported. Okay, that's the very basic ML pipeline. Now what happened in the MLOps pipeline? It's a bit advanced version of the ML pipeline. Here it's not just that the data coming or say source code change happening. it's it can be any trigger. Could be data update, data pushing, or data adding, data removed. What for whatever reason the ML model need to be retrained, the training, or maybe train, the training will happen. Then after the training, there will be particular export or say the artifact. Okay, what are the artifact? Artifact is something that you will be using to run and get the prediction. For example, let's assume the chat gpt. Chat gpt have different models, right? Or for example, your deepseek also have different models, say R1 or say whatever, R2, R3, whatever comes in. Okay, they have these models, right? And they are exported in a particular format. It could be pki, pk, xyz, whatever the format is. It's a headache. It's the headache of the ML engineer, not you as the MLOps engineer. Whatever the format is, how the training should run, how the training should run, how it can be exported, all those information will come from the particular ML engineer. What you have to do, you have to run those as a part of the workflow, as part of the MLOps pipeline. Okay, so first the data will come, then of course you will have some you need to train your model based on the data, input data. Then you will be exporting that particular ML model to as an artifact in different formats. For example, pki, pk, very common format those are. Okay, then after getting the that particular file, that artifact, you need to serve it. How you can serve it? You can serve it using fast API. For example, if it's a TensorFlow, then it's TensorFlow service there. So based on what is the targeted platform that you trained on, based on that you can serve in different way. For example, Skeleton, okay, that you can run using the fast API and including the that like the particular tooling that can run that and like input the data and get the prediction out of the model. Okay, that is the basic thing. Now all these things anyway I have covered very detailed in my MLOps series. I will not go to very deep because we have limited time. So what I'm coming at here, we are dealing with the ML model. So think about your source code or say the thing that you do. Here is the and what you generate as an artifact. For example, it's a Golang. Okay, you generate the final bin file. So not bin file, executable file. For example, it's a Node.js. Then you do run your npm install and you get your final runnable Node.js code. For example, Python, you install Python and you get your maybe as a will or maybe final after installing the requirements, you have your final runnable Python project. For example, it's the Java. You run the export and you get the jar file, which is runnable or executable file. So final export format after running your CI/CD pipeline. Here in the MLOps, you just run that same, like same, but it's for that particular model you run and you just generate the final artifact or final ML model, and you have to serve that. Okay, to serve that, as I say, there are different ways and very common are say fast API, and of course there are other models as well that's already covered in the MLOps series that you run. Now the question, where you want to run? Like for example, for normal web application projects, you also had to run it somewhere, maybe in the EC2, maybe in the Kubernetes, maybe in maybe any other environments. Okay, so similarly, the ML model that you are developing, also you are not just developing, you are generating or you're saving as an artifact, that you are running ultimately via a backend application, right? Maybe for example Python, that need to be hosted somewhere. For example, see your our very good example is ChatGPT. They're using Kubernetes to host the final model as an application. Of course, there are many other things goes on, but behind the scene, very bare minimum structure is they are running using their programming, like any backend programming language, and serving the model. So same thing you also have to do. You have to finally package that runnable application. Could be in Python, could be in Java, could be in Go. It's based on your final chosen language as a backend language, and that will be serving from where you can serve that from say Kubernetes environment. You can serve that from normal EC2, or you can serve from anywhere. I mean, based on your requirements, right? But you have to run that. You have to maintain the infra, right? Now let's understand what I've just discussed right now. For normal project or normal say source code, normal web, for example, web application projects. As a DevOps engineer, most cases you're handling web applications, right? And that's very common, I guess. There you handle the end-to-end flow from source code getting pushed to finally, having the testing, the builds, then deploying to your target environment. Same here, but you are just doing for the ML model. Okay. Now let's come to the question: should you be learning about the particular like email, how it works, and all that? Of course, because if you remember, for normal application projects or normal web application projects, there also you had to know about how to run that particular project, how to run locally, how to test it, how to generate the test reports. So similarly here also you have to learn about what is the ML model about, how to run the ML model, how to run the training, how to generate the final PKI, or say whatever the final artifact format, and then run it based on your target environment. So if you're a DevOps engineer, you want to move to MLOps, you also have to learn about what is ML, what is AI. Just learn about that. You don't have to become an ML engineer. I mean, then if you learn the entire thing about ML, you'll become an ML engineer, right? But your goal is to become MLOps engineer, right? So your focus should have been what is the basic concepts, like what is ML, what is AI and related concept, how to say like train the model, how to build the model, all those things. Okay, at least to the basic level that you can run, you can understand how the things works. That kind of understanding you need to have, and then how you can deploy, how you can run, and that's actually very common. Okay, how to run part you're actually doing from the very first day for your normal application. Similarly here also you'll be doing the deployment. That's part is common. Only uncommon part for you is to how to collect the data and how to collect data from different sources. Or for example, if you have MCP server and all those are a bit advanced, we can learn later on. But how to collect the data, how to pass the data to the ML model to train, how to train it, how to export, that is the part you're missing, and that is the part you should be focusing on learning. People actually what happens, they start to learn and they want to learn entire ML or entire AI, which is very tiresome, time taking, and ultimately you end up fading up and fed up, and you don't even continue that. And I have seen the story for many people who reached out to me. They, Sandeep, I tried, I failed, I am losing the hope. But the mistake most of people are doing, they're trying to learn entire ML. Okay, I know good courses what they're doing, but the thing is that it's not about the entire. You don't have to cover the entire thing, and that's not why you chosen the DevOps at the beginning, right? Because otherwise we would have been chosen to become AI engineer or ML engineer. You didn't like that fact, but now the industry want more MLOps engineer, more ML platform engineer. I'll come to ML platform engineer, what it is and how we can become and all that. But understand that to become a MLOps engineer from a DevOps background, as let's come to the first question from I think from Piyush, how you can transform. So learn about basic AI and ML concept, which already covered by the way in LearnXOps.com site. You can just search about that, and then learn how to train the ML model. Very basic things. Okay, you don't have to learn how to train LLM and all that at the very beginning. Nobody asking you to do that. All you have to do is just learn how to train the basic model, and that tutorial I've covered, and that tutorial already covered by many people. Okay, you can use any particular tutorial. The problem with what happens here, since there are many resources, you get confused. That's why I already made one very simple one. You can follow that one. It's up to you. Now, after that, you try to build the pipeline using Jenkins, using GitHub Action, whatever it is. Ultimate, your goal is to fetch the data and pass the data, train the model, deploy it to maybe EC2 or maybe EKS or just any Kubernetes cluster or maybe EC. It's up to you. And most cases, you have to make sure one thing that real life ML applications to make the prediction, they need GPU. So at the beginning, okay, you can just use the CPU based, but also you should be learning about how to run on the GPU based machine, and that's purely based resource usage. You can just choose instance or virtual machine, or even your local machine where you have the particular GPU support. Okay, so that's not a big issue. Okay, now another thing is that when people actually lose hope is that when they fail and they think that they don't know about MLOps, I mean ML part and anything, and you should not be worrying too much on that part. Again, it's the pure responsibility of ML engineer to train the model initial level and pass on the information to you. So you will have the information. You don't have to become ML engineer unless you want to. What you want to achieve here is becoming an MLOps engineer. To become MLOps engineer, focus on the only to the ML basic understanding, ML training, artifact export, and deployment. That's it. If you focus that one, most of cases you will have, because if you see most of the job opportunities for MLOps engineer or ML platform engineer, the requirement very simple: ML concept, AI concept, how to have the MLOps pipeline, how to deploy ML serving application into the intended cloud infra or whatever is the private infra, whatever it is. So that is the requirement. That's how you can become a MLOps engineer from from a DevOps engineer. I'll come to the more about the ML platform engineer. That's a bit different, not too much, but a bit different. But before that, I want to cover all the question. Okay, it's not like I'm just keep talking and talking and I'm ignoring other people. No, I'll be answering every single question. Okay, okay. So let's come to come to the very good question. Actually, they're both in the LinkedIn and YouTube. So many good questions. And I'll come first. Let me cover the LinkedIn one, because LinkedIn one I don't get to see in my screen, so I have to read from my phone. So let me cover that first. Okay, and I will go diff between DevOps and MLOps. Simple in normal DevOps. And by the way, what is MLOps? MLOps is the extended version of the DevOps which handle or which deal with the ML models or ML related stuff. That's a simple definition I can give. Again, many people have their own different opinion. I want to simplify it. I want to simply say, like, DevOps, ML engineer are the DevOps engineer doing the ML related works. So that's how I can simply define that. Okay, so mainly difference is simply in normal DevOps engineer you work with maybe simple web application or application that doesn't involve ML. If you are working as a MLOps engineer, you're working with ML models. They're built, their development, their deployment, and all that stuff. That is the major difference. Okay, now one this from Panay Verma: how to start freelancing and get terms long-term clients apart from platform like okay, see, basically for freelancing, be MLOps and other things, unless you are someone that everyone knows about, or everyone they want to offer, which is very rare right now with the age of AIML, vibe coding and all that. People, it's a bit complicated, because ideally you should be as a freelancer, you should be applying to different this kind of, say, Fiverr, top 10, all those sites, and get the first client. After getting the first client, you should be getting more references, and that's how you will build your client pool and ultimately work. Okay, so that's the thing. Anyway, it's not about this session, not about the freelancing, so maybe in some other session I will talk about that. Now, from Shubhajit Das, any project for beginning started. If you come to the, for example, let me share and I show you, that would be better. So if you yeah, if you see LearnXOps site, and if you come to this page and this, see, most, like, not just most, for every single article you see, if it require a project, I have already covered project. Okay, for example, this for example, this training ML models created, it already involved projects. Okay, you see source code are there, you can try and run and do it. Okay, so that's not a problem, you already have that one. To give you answer, that starting projects already have mentioned the infrastructure, data set, everything I've given, you can try that. Okay, let's come back now. And by the way, just that just today I have actually released one project. Okay, I'll just show you. And this project I'm going to involve AI and ML also. This is about project EV chargeable share platform. I was working from last 1 week on that, how to deploy to cloud and local running, every single thing I've covered. Okay, like for example, it's a very good stack that I've put my effort on and created it. Here I will have the AI and ML things also involved within, say, 1 or 2 weeks. So this is the without ML version or blockchain version. Next, I'm gonna have blockchain and ML included in this. Okay. So and this source code and everything available for the LearnXOps premium member. Okay. Only 1,000 rupees. Whoever interested can do it. Anyway, let's come back. Oh, actually, I was showing things um, without sharing the screen. So I was talking about this project. Okay, so this EV chargeable share platform that I have developed. In this project, I am going to kind of involve AI enabled things, and I'll be sharing that. Okay, that is for only Linux premium members because it requires a lot of effort, and I run on LinkedIn some poll around, say, ask for 100 people if they'll come in. Not many people interested, so I made it for only premium customers. Okay, I think that's good. Let me come back to the other questions. How AI ops? So it's from Devi Prasad. That how AI ops different from MLOps? See, MLOps, it's about consumer application. It's about anything. As an MLOps engineer, you have to build the model for. Okay, it can be for any company. Okay, it can be food products. It can be some software based company. They just want they need the ML model that you're developing. But for AI ops specifically, here it's dealing with the application logs, root cause finding, all those kind of things. For example, if you're running one application, okay, for example, this chat share application, for example, I'm running, and it's generating so many of the logs. Okay, what if there is a ML model that can go through all the logs and find the root cause, and if there is any problem happening, critical error happening, it alert also to us or important stakeholders. That is AI ops. It's just that AI for operations. Operations means what you do as a DevOps engineer most of the time, handling issues, monitoring, logging, all that, right? Those cases, if AI comes in handy, it's just simply go through all the logs, go through system settings and all the things. Then it analyzes it, and if any problem, if anything that required, if any abnormality, it check for that. ML model is programmed that way so that it can detect it and notify. That's the major thing. ML model can be for anything, any particular thing. For example, phone screen is break. For example, this phone screen is break. There is an ML model to check the crack. Okay, that could be a job. For that model to build, deploy, and things, MLOps engineer can be there. But for AI ops, it's that your application is running somewhere in cloud, anywhere. There is issue happening. That model specifically trained to detect that kind of problem in the logs and all that. That is AI ops. AI for operations. You have to think about, like, definition is still very different. Okay. Okay. By the way, are you coming to KubeCon? I mean, I plan to, but I think I'll be not able to. this this year also I'll have to miss the KubeCon, unfortunately. Um. Okay. Very okay. Lot of question, but let me come to the YouTube questions. Okay, because I know LinkedIn I have answered. I know there's a lot of questions still, but I'll come to that a bit more later. Let me cover the question from the other people. Okay. Can you share brief on LLM ops? Okay, so one thing that you guys now understand ML ops, it's just that as a DevOps engineer, you learn about ML basics, AI basics, how to build generate artifact of say or ML model artifact and deploy and serve. Here, LLMs is just you're doing for the LLM, large language models. Okay, for example, DeepSeek R1. Okay, that model you can train locally and that you can serve. Okay, of course that requires resources, but training of the particular LLM and then of course building the final artifact and then serving that is the LLM ops. So kind of another extension of the MLOps, right? But people would like to give a lot of ops names, so that's the thing that make things complicated to hurt. But ultimately, it's just that a MLOps engineer or DevOps engineer doing ML things, MLOps, MLOps engineer doing LLM things, LLM ops. That's the easiest way I can explain this. Okay. Um, Now, is there any specific amount to join? No, 60 days, 60 days of DevOps and 30 days DevOps are only for communities free. Let's see, that I've already answered. Is MLOps sufficient? I think another very commonly asked question. See, I will say, and by the way, it's very much opinionated. Many people have their own opinions. Okay, but what I feel, be DevOps, be MLOps, or be like this kind of say LLOps, for example, this kind of positions are not that great for freshers. Because why? Because DevOps require your previous experience on application development, issue handling, debugging, and all that, right? And sometimes you see most cases when you if you see the DevOps engineer position, there also specifically mentions this X or Y number of years of experience needed. Okay, and of course, if you think about MLOps, there you will see DevOps engineering experience plus the ML related experience, both are required, right? So, I mean, if you are extremely talented, you can handle the interviews, whatever the question they ask, without experience, practical experience, that will be tough. But if you can actually handle, then not just MLOps, actually, any job you can handle. I mean, I have seen a few of the talents while going to different this hackathons, or I mean talking with some talented freshers who are extremely talented, who know more than me in some areas, right? Those are the real guys who can crack any kind of interview. And then people to people different, people background to background is different, people financial status to different, because that guy maybe done some extremely paid course, they have papa's money, but many people not. So it's just that it can be numerous factors. But if you join a job, for example, 1 or 2 years, you learn from many resources, you have the finance to pursue other higher things, education and all, then it can be also achievable. So it's based on many factors, as I'm saying. But if you have what it takes, if you have the capability, do it. If you think it's very tough, you're not getting it, start as a backend engineer first, or say a system engineer or system admin first. Then after 1 or 2 years, you make the move, then it will be much more easy for you. Okay, that's what I personally feel. Now let's see other questions. It's from RK Gayan. I'm a third year fifth sem student. Should I learn DS in Python? I know C++, but Python good choice too. Yeah, most of the companies and most of the interviews what I've seen is asking DS in Python. If you are going for SD positions, then yes, Python is a good choice. But I think many other interviews what I've seen, they ask any programming language experience. If you have, you can use. But most cases the option limited is in Python, Golang, or JavaScript. So C I have seen very less. Java also very rarely I've seen. Again, it's my personal experience I'm sharing. But Python very common and JavaScript very common. Whatever you're more comfortable, you can go with that. Okay. Um, in model deployment only thing, should I focus on or okay? So is model deployment only thing in MLOps, or should I also focus on data engineering? See, as I say, for MLOps engineer, you are actually utilizing your existing DevOps skills for code say testing, artifact generation, deployment to your uh, targeted deployment platform. It's just that you're dealing with ML model as the difference, as a having that, or you're training the ML model, right? And to train the ML model, you're fetching the data from different sources using different tool set also, because for for normal DevOps pipeline is different set of tools. Many of those tools are common, but MLOps are entirely different tools. For example, how you collect the data, how we classify the data, how you do the feature engineering, could be some certain tools, right? So tools are actually getting different concepts. Some concepts like how to build model, how to deploy, how to generate the artifact. Those concepts getting different. So those are the things. Now, if you say about, say for example, data engineer, you are dealing with mostly on the data classification, data labeling, then data like data only cleanup and all those other stuff, right? But MLOps, whatever these things comes up, like most cases ML engineer itself give you all the things. And if there is a data engineer who is there, who there is, if in the team there is data engineer, he will also give the scripts and he give the configuration. So it's ultimately based on the team setting. But if you think about startup, if you are doing MLOps, you might also ended up doing the backend development, front end development, or say data engineer. All these things you should be doing. I mean, I have been DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, JavaScript backend engineer. So I have been a lot of other position, but I ended up doing every single thing, every damn thing that I have to do. So it's it's for startup, no question, you'll be doing every single thing. But if you're going to big company, say enterprise, or for example good company, large enough companies, those companies your role will be limited. If you are doing MLOps, only MLOps. If you are doing data engineering, you will be stuck in the data engineering most probably. If you're doing say observability, Grafana and all that, you will end up doing all that Grafana stuff, no other things, because there is team assigned for other things, right? That makes the difference. Okay, let's see what. So from Gaurav, could you list tools you think the best and how to, that I've already covered. Again, you guys don't see my post these days. I don't know why. Because if you do, if you come to the 30 days MLOps, if you see there is a tool, see ML tool landscape, and here I have already covered entire tool set in as a diagram. Like I listed it. I exactly mentioned where to use what, for versioning what to use, for training what to use. For example, training will be TensorFlow, PyTest, Skeleton, ML Flow for running weight bias and all the cadence trainer optima. All these things I don't have to repeat again. But all these things I have actually, I'll give you the article URL anyway, so that you know. But all these things I've covered. Like many people are asking question, but I've already covered. So just go through my 30 days of MLOps and you see, before if you ask me question, I've already covered every single thing. Okay, so just go through that. Okay, I have covered every single tool that need for what. Okay, and even if you see my series, I've already covered how to run what, how to run testing, and how to do every single thing. So just follow the 30 days of MLOps and it will answer most of the question of yours. Okay. um Hey Vavesh, after a long time I'm seeing you on my feed. Good, good. Okay. Let's see the other questions. So any plans of video series? Okay. Let's see. Mm, Oh, okay. Could you list? I think that tools part I've already covered, as God have asked. Any plan from Shobha Reddy? Any plan DevOps? So this particular series that you see here, I mean, I have to repeat again. But if you just come there, right? This particular series that you see, like 30 days of MLOps in my LearnXOps, it started from like intro to DevOps, MLOps. Okay, and if you are fresh to DevOps, I mean, you don't know even DevOps, I will suggest first learn about DevOps. Okay, 60 days, because without DevOps, you'll find MLOps extremely, extremely, extremely tough. Mark my word. Believe or not, you'll believe me after you jump into MLOps anyway. So after you complete the particular full series of MLOps, then sorry DevOps, and then come to the MLOps. If you are fresh to DevOps, if you're already say for example Piyush, he's already 11 experience. I know him well, so he can just directly jump from the introduction and all the tools and everything, and he will within say 1 or 2 weeks he will be good to go. Okay, so again, just to give you a context, I have covered this Saturdays MLOps from very scratch, from very basic. I assume you don't know anything about DevOps or ML. I mean, sorry, anything about the MLOps. So that's how I started, and then slowly complexity and other things is coming up, right? So I will suggest that go to that particular like my site, and you will see 100% of your question getting answered. When I have planned like that way only, that's I do, right? I have faced myself on the difficulties. So how I have faced difficulties, I design the courses content according to that. That's why most people see, I mean, side, if you see, you already having the case studies and all those things. If you see, already 500 paid members are there. I mean, these contents are free, but if you think about the use cases, the projects I'm giving, all this more relatable, right? So that's why it's making sense. Okay. So I think Piyush, a very good question. Any plans for video series? So I actually did the video series, but I think then my work pressure's gone above the sky. So then I stopped everything. I focused my work and all that. Then again, work got a bit less pressurized. Then I again started every single thing. So yeah, I will eventually like after let the series complete. Both for DevOps and MLOps, there will be videos. Even for the project also, there will be a lot of videos for the on the projects, because most of the project you see that I'm sharing on LearnXOps, it's paid only. But what I'm gonna do, I will make like, to have everybody have the access, even the source code also eventually. they will have, but the full guide and everything will be, I mean, I have to make some differentiate, right? So maybe those will still save for the premium people, but source code and everything I will make available. Okay. So anyway, I mean, ultimate thing is I will be making videos, not immediately right now. I'm making one series even for that AWS crash course with AI ML course I was making. I got so much pressurized that I didn't able to complete the full thing. I'm still recording videos when I'm getting chance. So let the pressure go a bit down, then I will definitely start making other videos. How to real world industry related data science is in YouTube. There are any projects. See, there are projects, but there will be basic, because if you see any YouTube or any people learning, those everybody will cover the basic thing, okay? Because they want the larger audience to learn about the basic stuff. Very rare YouTube channels, including myself also, whenever I get chance, okay? Because the moment I do release a complicated project, people start calling me, even asking me, sir, why this complicated project? I'm very fresher and all that. They start crying. So that's another reason I don't. I mean, this project, for example, what I released today, it's fairly complicated project. Okay, it has React front end, Node.js backend, Redis, MongoDB, then local development using Kind cluster, then deployment in EKS. Is fairly complicated. Okay, and even I'm including saying that maybe next week or so I will have blockchain implemented on the same project. I will have this ML doing the automatic route checking and all these things. So things will get more fairly complicated, right? Those who don't have any idea about the basic stack, even they'll feel more complicated. So that's one of the reason. Any of the, or so most of the YouTuber or any people teaching the course and all that, they start from very basic. Even I also, if you see, many people are asking in the feed that, sir, basic thing first. So that's the reason I started with the very basic thing first, and then slowly moving to the complexity ladder. That's how things are. But yeah, for LearnX premium members, because this takes extraordinary effort. Okay, the projects I was, after my normal work shift ends around 8 9, for example, I'm staying away till 12 or something 1 or 2. I'm making the workflow correct, fixing the things and all that. So it required extraordinary effort. Okay. um, so that's the reason. I mean, I even keep the amount very lower also, only 1000 for 1 year. Like, it's a Uber cost for 1 day if you go to a long distance or even smaller distance these days. So that's why I keep the cost very minimum. So any fresher, any student, any professional, like most of the 500 people I've seen are all professional people. So they have already subscribed. So I will, but 99% chances they're going to be a premium member only for the complex project. That just like today, I release a charger share application, right? Kind of that. As I again, Ayush, MLOps is not a fresher as per my understanding, that I can say. But if you're, by the way, if you're extraordinary at DevOps, extraordinary at ML and MLOps things, then why not? It's more on the skill part and understanding part. If you can, yes, but as per my understanding, if I've been a fresher, it would have been extremely tough for me to jump into MLOps and even getting an opportunity also. Okay, that's the thing. Off topic. How to approach people and get remote outside India tour. Tour experience very tough, but if you have the contact, if you have the right skill set, you can maybe schedule some. That's a long discussion and very targeted one. Maybe top med or something you can book. I can discuss. No problem. Okay. One question: how to really, as I say, there will be coming projects MLOps also, but it will take some time. From Bhavesh, generic question: how do you manage multiple technologies on production? Do you learn fully or just need base? And how is favorite tool? AI tool? Mine is Amazon Q Chat GPT. Okay, so from the when I was a mediocre engineer, okay, I was not getting opportunities, and I was cursing myself why I was so bad at many things. I learned something while in the process. Okay, you have to work hard. Use whatever you have, be it cursor, be it windsurf. I buy every single damn thing, but it has to bring me value. Okay, so in my learning process, I do use ChatGPT. I use this what do you call it? Grok. I use the this what is that? Chat DeepSeek. So it's not the single tool, but it's actually multiple tool. I don't trust or I don't depend on the single tool. As I say, Amazon Q, CLI, ChatGPT. For me, I have 3-4 tabs open. Ideally, okay, not right now because I'm in a feed, but usually I have 4 tabs. One in ChatGPT, one in this not Amazon Q honestly. Um, I'm AWS Hero, but unfortunately I don't use that much of the QCLI. I do used one time, I think maybe 2 months back, not recently though. But the Dixie Grok, because I have a paid subscription in Twitter, so I have subscription, so why not use it? So that's why you open it. I see the what is the best response, what is the best kind of thing that I can relate to. I can think. I mean, if it looks me best for my current challenge, I use that. It doesn't work, I work on. But I also have Windsurf installed on my laptop. I also have Cursor. I also have Kudo. Okay, recently this particular charger share project, by the way, that is developed using Kudo, but Kudo die in middle way. So I use the Windsurf because how I can think logically, right? How I can develop one full form project from in this 2-3 days or say 1 week, I can complete it from end to end. So intelligently use all the tools, but experience play a very good matter, because this AI tools and generate mostly rubbish. Honestly, that's what these tools do. They just for one single line prompt they change the 100 files. So you have to generate and set the guardrails. You have to fix the thing, because I have good experience on entire stack and all. I can know this. I mean, what I do is, first whatever stable I commit it, then I ask for some changes. It doesn't work, I will just stash it. I just remove that. I undo that. If it works, I again commit it. If I think this is wrong, I do correct myself and then commit it. Okay. So that's the involved process. But good thing, what would have took me 2 months to build, I'm building in less than 1 week. That is the speed these AI tools have given to me. Okay. In future, nobody knows going to happen if AI going to take over my job. I think that's the reason I choose the MLOps, because the more AI, the more jobs I get, the more projects I get actually. Because if you think about the use case, AI or ML model training itself and deploy itself is the recipe for disaster. When having the calls with other people as I explain the things, but because you don't trust AI, if it's an AI model deploying itself, it's a disaster. So there will be always job for MLOps engineer. You trust me, okay, on that part at least. So yeah, just to give the question, I use all the models, I use all the tools, whatever is in my laptop. I have most of the things. I use all the things, not a single thing. Okay, everything. And I'm paying because I'm a well paid professional. I do make money from site, from my clients, and there's nothing to hide. Okay, I make good money. That money I invest on other things, but on myself, my learning using these tools and everything. So everything. Okay. So yeah, this is how I manage multiple technology. See, multiple technology and everything. Whatever I don't know, I rely on AI and everything these days to learn it. If something I already know, I just whatever the part is more advanced, I use quickly AI tool to generate those. Okay. So just to give a gist, yeah, I use every single tool that is there for me. Okay. MLOps is required programming knowledge in Python. Yeah, one backend programming, ideally Python. Java, so we don't see that kind of requirement in MLOps, but mostly what I've seen, either Python or Golang is the most preferred language. Okay, for MLOps or DevOps in general. AI is the same like SRE role. No, AI ops. It's SRE is what, it could be backend application, it could be e-commerce, it could be any kind of application. But AI ops is actually dealing with the AI side of the use case of getting the logs data, getting the all kind of configuration data, everything, detect anomalies, detect the root cause, doing the root cause analysis, all the stuff. Okay, even okay, I actually covered the AI ops in very depth. If you go to my YouTube channel, search about AI ops, you will see I've covered I think 1 or 2 hour long session on just AI ops. Okay, so I will suggest you to check that one. Okay. Okay. Are you using AI in DevOps? I mean, that's the see. That's the thing. You will be using AI agents and all this tool for every single thing, not just project development, not just Kubernetes, not just DevOps, I mean, every single way. Whoever not using this tool are the in losing side, because these tools actually speed up the things, but in many cases these tools generate garbage. So you should have enough understanding what is garbage and what is the real use case. That is the decision you have to make. That is the most challenging part. Okay. Okay, I think good enough. I have answered a lot of question on YouTube. Now let me cover the anything LinkedIn. A lot of people have a lot of question. um Let me answer all that. Okay. Okay. Which so you see how to. Thank you so much. I think Ayush have already answered how to start freelancing and MLOps is required. Required code knowledge experience. How does okay? So I think, oh, I think I'm getting the. I think no people actually using same question on YouTube also. Okay, good thing. Okay. What are the tools I have to allow? I have shared already. MLOps will be the projects will be explained along with the README file. So from Rahin saying that MLOps will project will have explained along with the. I think there will be a tutorial guide separately, and there will be if you. I mean, yeah, I will just add the README file. That's not a big thing, right? AI experience. One good question here that to become MLOps and AIOps, do you need to have ML and AI experience? Ideally, no, because if you have ML experience, AI experience, would you not become an AI or ML engineer? Why would you become a MLOps engineer? You don't have to have extensive experience or knowledge on the ML and or AI, but you need to have some level of knowledge and experience. What kind of some level? As a basic things. What is ML? What is MLOps? Whatever the top level ML concept that I need to learn it. I've already covered those in the series. Whatever the AI level basic and some form of concept you need, I have also covered that. Most cases, what is AI, how AI work, how agentic AI works, what is the MCP server, all those things you did know that I already covered. You need to, I mean, even building a MCP server is piece of cake, honestly. So that is not a big thing. So just learn the basics, okay? How to like develop a small ML model, simple ML model, how to host it using fast API or similar tools. Have all the skills how to deploy that particular ML model and serve using Kubernetes. If you have that level of experience and knowledge, you're good to go. Okay, you did not need to have a extensive way knowledge of AI ML. Otherwise, of course, you'll become ML engineer, right? Which AI you prefer? Which type of task you experience? I think already giving answer to Bhavesh. I use all sort of tools. Most preferred, I use ChatGPT and DeepSeek because those two are the most relevant one. Grok give me weird answers. I don't like that much. Grok. Okay. Any focus on boot camps you suggest for MLOps? Again, okay. I think if you know people are joining, that's a good thing. See, this is already here. Okay, so this is DevOps 30 days of like this boot camp is already here. It's in my site. Go to LearnXOps, and there you just go to this URL and you will have that. Okay, this boot camp is already, or say the series already running. Just do it. Okay. Now, next question. What strategies do you use to track and compare model performance over time across environment? So there are not a single tool actually. I use multiple tool. I use the what is it called? ML flow and Q flow. These two. See, even this particular tool also actually I ask ML engineer for their opinion because most cases I will do the contract work. So maybe hourly or maybe very part time basis also. They I ask them what is the tool that you want. If they don't have any particular opinion, I do research and I based on their use case I choose one. But most cases is Qflow or MLflow. Those are get used. Okay. Which you prefer? Okay. Hello. Thank you so much. Where do you draw a line between ML engine? So yes, this is another very good question. Now from Srinath, where do you draw the line between ML engineer and MLOps. ML engineers is responsible for entire ML flow. What is ML flow? Data, not data collection, but data classification, ML model training, and ML model export. As ML ops engineer, you handle the pipeline on getting the data from data different resources, pass on to the model, then that's not model training, then generate the artifact. Again, all those how to's are actually given to you from the ML engineer. ML engineer doing the development, training, and everything. Thing. Once that the basic thing is ready, he just pass you how to do it. That's the basic thing. So you don't actually have to do that from scratch by yourself, but you need to have the understanding how the training work, how the build, so how the entire process of that artifact generation works, how to host that. Like your specialization is basically the pipeline, basically how to host it on say targeted platform, how to keep it optimized. Okay, focus on the ML model. Okay, that is your job. So draw line. ML engineer doing the entire life cycle from the basic to model training and the development. You as a MLOps engineer will be doing the pipeline, entire flow, how like generating the final artifact and deployment. ML engineer will not be handling the deployment. As a MLOps engineer will be handling the deployment. That is a fine line you can draw. Okay, do you need ML? I think already covered. ML is required, really code knowledge. Okay, that I've covered. I think yeah, most cases, most question I've covered. Anything? Let me see, and I've covered within 1 hour, so that's a good thing. Okay, how do you see Golang for DevOps in future? See, Golang is already got for the cloud and DevOps perspective. It's already if you see Kubernetes, if you see Docker, you see many other very good tool. Terraform itself, right? All those developed using Go, and the reason being Go is very fast. It's parallelism. It's the single binary can run anywhere. Those like and the binary itself is very small. Okay, and of course there are many other like benefits. Altogether people tend to go for Go because it bring all the good benefits, right? So yeah, as a cloud DevOps, Golang will be getting used if you want to go for, say for example, Kubernetes CID development or plugin development. Without Golang it is pain, right? So yeah, those kind of, if you want to go to more advanced opportunities, which is very less contested because people who are cloud and DevOps engineer and no DevOps and work in advanced CIDs development, which is very highly demanded field, yet not many engineers do that. Is a very highly paying field. We have the future there. I think yeah, we are good to I think close the session because I have covered the session. I think most people have the understanding now from DevOps engineer how you can become a MLOps engineer. Simply learn the basic ML, learn the basics of AI, learn how to train basic model, not very advanced because again there is ML engineer who will be doing the actual development and actual artifact generation. He will test and everything. As a MLOps engineer, you just get the process, grab the process, and make it part of your MLOps pipeline. And the thing, there is a ML platform engineer, right? I mean, now compare that also against the normal platform engineer. Normal platform engineer do the internal development tool for the engineer who's doing the development, code development, right? Similar way, a ML platform engineer will develop or build a platform for ML engineers to make their life easy. How to build, train, model, and manage every single thing. To make that life easy, the ML platform engineer will build the platform. There, you need, of course, the cloud, DevOps, and MLOps knowledge. Additionally, you need a very good like backend and application development experience. Okay, because you'll be developing application ultimately, right? So that is the major difference between the ML ops and ML platform because you're developing the platform entirely for the internal developers. Okay, so that is the major difference. I think I answered most of the question. Again, if you are new to ML ops, I do encourage you. This is I'm working very hard, and I have a say multiple like one full time and other side plans, right? So I'm working very hard for this series. If you are very new to the ML ops, I mean you already a DevOps engineer or cloud engineer, and you want to become a DevOps engineer, this is I'm working hard for you guys. You and then this is completely free of cost. Even for example, you want to learn MLOps, but you are new to DevOps. Follow this series 60 days of DevOps and learn. I'm already it's a completed series by the way, and everything covered, everything free of cost. And you see, I've covered everything in very great extent, and you see all the architecture diagrams, all the codes, logs, and every single thing is there. Very detailed things. Okay, do check this out. Okay, and if you are interested in, for example, what do you call it, um, the premium things, for example, this kind of like say case, like for example real life projects, many were seeking that, right? Case studies, projects, and all these things. I think how many I have 80 premium content, not like all these are the case studies, including hands-on implementation and everything. I do encourage, it's very less cost. Okay, nothing, to be honest, it costs absolutely less than like nothing. You can just get it for annual 1000 rupees per year. I mean, the goal is to that everybody and anybody can afford this. Even there are many people who say, why Sandeep you are doing so cheap? People think that you are doing low quality. It's not about the low quality on it. I put extraordinary effort. Is that I want to make it affordable for anybody or everybody. Okay, that is the reason. 1000 per year calculated cost to handle the platform, because it's hosted on EKS. It doing content serving, I hired not one, actually two juniors who is handling the side, and they're also learning things. To handle all the cost, you need some amount. Even for mail sending also, that cost I have to pay around 10,000 rupees per month. So all these things, that's the reason I need paid readers, paid learners. So yeah, that is the thing, nothing else. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. We'll again meet some other session. And thank you for staying this long. It's 1 hour. I see already more than 100 people live watching. So that's a good thing. Um, is it right to start with cloud engineer, then to DevOps? If you want, you can, but I will suggest starting from the backend engineering, or say full stack development, or system engineer. That will give you more edge. But I have seen the cases where from cloud also people moving to DevOps. If you learn things, if you develop things, if you have enough project practice and deliver, okay. Okay, so guys, I think that's it. I do have to send one email to everybody, or the weekend email. Yesterday I was so busy developing the project, I didn't able to. Now I have to do it, so I'll be doing in the next few minutes. So see you soon in some other video. And of course, one video I was working very hard for the AWS that crash course, which I want to complete as soon as possible. But pressure of work pressure is extremely high. So unfortunately a bit getting late. As soon as done, I will definitely, you will see, I along with Cube Simplify and SIM will be releasing that one. So yeah, see you soon in my next video. Bye bye, and check out the contents on LearnXOps. Okay, bye bye.